All right. Hello. Welcome back. This is going to be episode 2 of the waveform free tutorial thing. I am learning along with you guys, so bear with me as well. I'm just taking my basic knowledge of what I already know about DAWs and kind of implementing into the whole waveform thing. It's also very late, and it's actually rather cold, so you're probably going to hear the heater running in the background. I do have the session up from the last time, which was us doing a template. So we're going to use that template today and kind of work on some stuff. What I'm thinking of doing is maybe just kind of like, because I don't really feel like writing out an entire song on a DAW that I don't use congruently all the time. So, but I do want to show my friends on how to use this because a lot of them are going to be using this. Excuse me. So we're going to try to do it down and dirty, quick and easy, and see how it goes. Maybe you learn something, maybe I learned something. We're going to zoom in and try to get that bar. There we go. And turn our loop on, which is down here. And what I'm thinking on doing first is doing some drums. Just because we can use this MT Power Kit, which is a free download. And it's got a groove pattern here. One, it shows you how to use MT Power Drum Kit. And what I would use it for, and two, it's going to be able to make like a nice little drum MIDI pattern for us to follow, and then next time we can sit down and write down some guitars and put that on the track as well. Gives me kind of some time to think about what I want to write for the guitar pattern. Like I said in the beginning, in the very first episode of this, it's going to be a short song. It's not going to be a long song. So this is where we're going to start. If you had made the template alongside with me, we had made this drums track with our MIDI set up, an MT Power drum kit or the drum kit of your choosing over here on our track. And we're going to go ahead and see how Waveform reacts to some of this. Songs I typically write are somewhere between 140 and 180 usually. So we'll go kind of like in between and do like 165. So we're going to set our time down here. That's our beats per minute. And that'll change up our grid to line up with that time. Hopefully it lines it up for the entire song, which it appears to have. Yep. Okay. Yeah, it all looks right. Okay. I've set my loop up for a 4-bar loop. And we're going to run through a couple of these drums and maybe see if we can't find one that we like. And then if we want to change some things in it, we're going to also change them before we're done as well. And then we will use that, our drum track, as the drums for when we're going and writing in our guitar tracks a different day. So we know that our track is 165. If you're in MT Power Drum Kit 2, as I am, there is a grooves section. That is what I've clicked. And then over here you have soft, normal, and heavy velocity. I play rock and metal for the most part, so I'm going to go ahead and click on heavy so that all the velocity is just like up. And then you have these styles. And in the styles, it tells you what time signature they are, 4/4. And then you have grooves, and it tells you what the times, BPMs, for these groups are recommended for. So I believe, yeah, you can go 60 to 150, 160 to 250, 80 to 180, 60 to 150, and there are different time signatures as well. There's 6/8 here. a couple of 4/4s. So since our song is 165, we're going to stick in between here and see if we can't find just like a cool little drum kit to kind of go along with our stuff. So once I pick one, I use an open hat quite a lot, so let's double click that and see what they all have in it. And then you should be able to click one and hit the play button over here, and it should come through if I turn my drums on, that is. There we go. That's going to happen a couple of times. And then we can just click through each and every one of these. And see what it has to offer. Turn it up a little bit. Got a couple of snare ghost. I like that. Oh. And then when you're done listening to it, you just hit that play button. And there are fills for each of those as well. So if you click on one, it'll bring up the options for fills, and you can make a fill for it as well. I kind of want to see what else they have. So let's see what they have in closed hat. Oh, it's the same, which is the thing. So, let's see. What's intros got in it? Kick and snare. Let's see. Alright, so what we're going to do is I'm going to keep that for now. I'm going to click it, hold it, and drag it over. And you see, it's going to be put. Do you want to import tempo and time signature change from the Midi clip? Sure, let's do that. And see if it lines up with our metronome. Turn the metronome on and hit play. Okay. And it does sound like it. I wonder if there's a way to turn the volume. Click volume. There we go. I like it loud personally. So let's make sure that it's working proper here. And we might actually, our thing turned to 120. Let's put that back to 165 and see what happens. 65. Oh. Listen again. That sounds better. And it's one full measure here, one bar here. So now we know I don't want to import the tempo. I just want to bring it in and ignore the tempo. So now we've got a little bit of an intro. We need to figure out what that intro is going to go into. So let's see. And you can use the compose, but I've had issues with this, honestly, a couple of times. You lay out a whole bunch of things, like you can pick them and drop them down, and it'll order them. And you're supposed to be able to, like, highlight the whole thing and drag it in, but I've never had success doing so. So I just pick out the things that I would like to use and drag them in as I go. So we have a 1 bar measure of drums. Let's go ahead and see what else we have. Groove shuffles, and that's within our time. So let's see what's in those. 6 bell, open hi-hat shuffle. Let's see what these have got in it. And I'm not really digging many of those either. Let's see where the 6/8 had. Just for fun, let's find maybe a 16th. Alright, I didn't care for any of those either. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back up to the 4/4, 160 to 250 beats. And we're going to pick one of the open hi-hats and make it our own. 4th opens. Oh, there's 8th too. I don't know. Let's see. Let's do 4th. Alright, we'll stick with that for now. Click that, drag it in, line it up, and ignore, and see what happens. Awesome. So let's see what we have now here. We'll go back, revert to 0. Okay, and since we have that, what I'd like to do is I'd like to X out of this now, and then highlight this track, and I would like to bring in the keyboard and see what the notes are looking like. And one of these two is the drum, so let's find out which one. It's not that one. Oop. There we go. Okay, so let's see what happens. We're going to zoom this in, right click and expand. And if we want it bigger, the only way I have found to like make the notes longer, or at least on this, is you can right click here and drag up. It's a right click. And I'm going to go ahead and add some extras all the way down. And there's a train going by. My apologies. I do live next to a train track. And each of these notes is going to be placed right where the end of that pencil is. So if it's over here, it will place it there. You can double click it to get rid of it. And I think that one's actually incorrect. We shall see. So let's go ahead and play. Okay, and now I'd like to find the kick, which I do believe is this. And then I want to place the kick in between instead. And it becomes either the size that you clicked on last time, or you can change it. Where did I find it? Right here at the bottom next to velocity, there's this little len thing. And you can choose the size of how big these squares are. You see? And then I can undo that. And see, I'll undo that and bring that down. I think it was, oh, not the velocity. What was it? 2 beats maybe? Oh no, that was way too long. I'm just gonna go the slow way. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Add it here. And add it here. And see how that sounds. Oh, maybe there. Okay. So that's a little bit of a part that we can work with. I'm going to X out of that. And I like this part here. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new thing over here, which it appears that's how you have to do it. Or you can stretch it out with this little triangle. So I'm going to go ahead and stretch it out with that little triangle. And find those few little notes that I did like in this section. And copy them. Okay, so you need to go down here and click the little pointer. And then click and drag. And it'll highlight all of them. You can right click and copy. And then you would click the section you want to be in, which is right here. And then you can paste. Right click and insert. I guess not. Huh, there's no paste. I'll be. Okay, well, let's try it again. Oh, I'm just going to copy this and see if I can. Yeah, I don't see a paste. That's wild. That is wild. Okay. Okay. I don't think I can. Yeah, I don't see a paste. That's crazy. Well, insert didn't work, clearly, because I don't see anything pasted here. So I guess what we're going to do instead is we're going to go X out of here. Finding little quirks. And this, honestly, is the most annoying thing. Hovering and then it popping up. Like, I kind of wish it wouldn't, but it does. So we're going to zoom in here. And we're going to right click on that line and split. And then make sure this is the only one, highlight it. And duplicate. And then I'm going to take that and drag it, whoa, way over apparently. Right next door. Make sure it's snapped in the proper place and drag that in. And I think we might have to make an adjustment, but we will find out in a second. So let's... drag this over. And then drag this whole thing over. Actually, it should be right around here, I do believe. We might have to add some extra notes to that side. Okay, yeah, and we are going to have to add some extra notes. So I'm going to highlight just this one, go back in to my Midi, and find that little bit, and copy all that over. So we need another one every two. Oh, painter tool. 2. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay. Here. Here. Should be enough. Maybe not. Then we'll add some here. And see if that's enough of them. Oh. Delete that. And 2 beats. Oh, because it went past. So let's see if it's how it sounds. That sounds fair. I'm gonna add one here and see how that sounds. Very good. Highlight this one, see if we can't add some spice over here. Let's just add a couple for right this second, see how it sounds. Did I put them on the wrong? I did. So we're going to get our little pointer tool, grab all of them and move them there. Let's add them in between two. Okay, let's see if we can't find like a... replace one of them. That sounds cool. Good enough, at least, for this little... Let's spice it up a little more. Okay. So we've got a little bit of, oh, it's actually a 5 bar now. Right click and shrink it up a little bit. And we're just going to expand it out a little bit more. And then probably, honestly, just like duplicate a good chunk of this. So let's try to duplicate this. And you grab at this little black bar, and it's your move tool. Start it there and see how that sounds. It's where the playhead is. Almost. Where would it actually be? Oop, wrong one. I like this one. Shrink it down 1. Yeah, see how that sounds. As you can tell, I'm not super great at Midi, is what it is. Huh. Alright. I actually kind of don't like that. Where is the, what's your face supposed to be? Scooch it down. Well, I'm actually thinking I'm going to scrap that duplication. Delete. We're at a 6 bar, so let's scooch this down to 12. And, oh, actually, 2. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we need to highlight both of these. Duplicate them. So I want to duplicate that. And then duplicate that. Drag it over. Bring in our zoom area again. Loop. And see how it sounds. Alright, and that would be the first bit of our song, so it would actually be like a 9 bar thing. And then we would be able to move into creating a second bit from that 9 bar. So we are on number 10 here, and we would just count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be another 4 bar. And we can go ahead and we'll keep some of it so that we can kind of get an idea, and then we will go back into MT Power Kit and find something else that might sound good with that. So let's try an open hi-hat. Listen to one of these. Let's try 16th. Oh, 16th. Well, that's kind of the problem. 160 to 250. Let's do 4th half open hi-hat. See how they sound. All right, it's got to be an open hi-hat. That's not bad. All right, so we will keep that one, and you do have to kind of finagle the screen a little bit. We're going to drag that one in and stick it, ignore, and see how long that piece is, and then we have enough room for another little fill. So in order to hear both of them together, we will put them in here to kind of get an idea of what might sound good. Okay, let's drag in a second one. Yeah, those two sound fine, so I'll take... Oh, well, that one is already up there, so we're just going to take this little fill. Did it take the whole one? It did, didn't it? Ignore. Empty. Yeah, that's the wrong one. Delete. So we'll just drag it from here. There we go. Ignore. All right, and then we have 2 parts. And then what I'd like to do is duplicate these as well. So I'm just going to right click and duplicate, drag that over, and right click and duplicate, scooch my screen a little, and drag that one over, and set my loops. There we go. And that is our song. So what we're going to do is I'm going to hit this little F down at the bottom right corner, and there we go. Everything looks correct. So I have a hotkey set up to if I hit a certain number on my keypad, it automatically goes back to wherever the playhead is, and which I thought would also send me back to start, but it does not. So we're just going to have to use this button. There are finicky things to it, like, you know, things that you think would work, but they don't. That most everything follows that playhead instead of returning to start. You just got to kind of like work with what you got. So this is the loop that we have here today. We added some MT Power Midi, but then we went in and kind of made it our own. We're going to listen to it, and then we're going to try to make this all one singular track, just to find out if we can or not. I know that there is a way to merge tracks in Studio One. I don't know if there is a way in here. I also thought there would be a paste button. I did not see one. I saw a copy, but I don't see a paste. So yeah, we'll work that out in a future day. But right now we got something done. So let's listen to it. All right, so what I'd like to do is try to merge all these. I notice when I'm hovering over something in the top right up here, there's this little thing that says click and select this clip. Hold down, shift, control, alt to select multiple. So let's try that. Shift, control, and alt. Shift, control, and alt. And can I select... I can select, oh, you have to select it in the top black bar up here. Okay, or maybe it doesn't work. I don't know. So maybe I have to stretch it all the way down. There we go. So you have to, from the start to the end. So then I'm going to right click and merge, and hopefully that, yep, there we go. We have one unified piece of MIDI. And to save on CPU, we're going to mix that down, because my song is not going to be very large. This is just to kind of work through it and show. I did notice this little page here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new track, actually. I'm going to add a track. Okay, it is currently called track number 6. I'm going to scooch that right underneath. We're going to rename this drum kit Drums MIDI. And then we're going to name this other one, right click, rename, Drums Print. Okay, so we have our one unified thing here. We have a drums track here, which I do believe I could double click. Yep, okay. And there's this little page here, and if you touch it and drag it, see, it rendered it down to an audio file. And we're going to line that back up, and there's going to be a thing that pops up. Do you want to make a copy? Intro, BPM, snare only. Apply to all. Remember my choice. Don't copy. Make a copy. So I'm not going to copy because I don't really know where it goes. Oh, to the project folder. So yeah, I guess I will make a copy. But this one here, BM or BWAV clip. Do you want clip placed at BWAV? I do not, because that would be something like if I'm taking it and dragging it onto my desktop so that other people can listen to it. Right now I want it on my cursor position so it drops right where I placed it. And this is now our drums. So what I'd like to do with this is I'd like to right click and find the mute so that I can always come back to it if I ever want to. And then I want to mute that track. And I want to turn off MT Power Kit. Why would I want to do that? Well, my CPU up there is going to start building up. This is your CPU. So by getting rid of the MIDI and the MT Power Kit and using the audio, we're going to save on CPU later on down the road. And that is going to be a goal. So we still have it there. We can always turn it back on if we ever need to. But if we don't have to have it on, we will save CPU in the future. So it's going to get the input. You can go ahead and just like no input it. It's fine. It's all going to go to the output 1 and 2, which is your master bus. As far as I understand, this is your 1 and 2. So yeah. So we're going to Turn that off. And we're going to play it just to prove it is the same way that we had it and everything like that. So we're going to rewind all the way back. Hit play one more time. All right, and that's the drums for our track. Next time, I think what we're going to do is go over some guitar stuff. That gives me a little bit of time to kind of like write some guitar stuff out. We're not doing any mixing right now. We're just tracking. There is a difference. There is a difference. And so we're going to save. File. Save edits. Edit saved. So then we can X out of this. And then if we ever need to get back to it, it should be in our recent files, so we can always just double click and it brings us right back to our song. But I don't need to right now. This is where they would be if you ever want to start a new project. This is where that would be. And that's pretty much it for today. Yeah, there's going to be some troubleshooting and errors, and honestly, like if somebody else knows where the paste button is, that'd be awesome to know. I found the copy button. I could not find the paste button. I found duplicate, and I don't really care for the selections thing, like where you have to select from one end to the other. That I'm not a fan of that. I'd much rather be able to like select whatever I want and have it highlight, even if it's in between other tracks. That's a personal preference. So we have some drums, albeit not the greatest drums, but they are drums, and we will add some guitars on there later. We're not doing mixing right now. We will get into mixing. Right now we're just using our free basic plugins so that we can get the song out. After we're done recording everything is when we will go into the mix down step. I'm a firm believer that it shouldn't all be encompassed into one. It should be, a writing session and then a tracking session, and then you have your mixing and then your mastering. That's just the way I operate. It's how I always operate it. So yeah. With that being said, we've been at it for about 40 minutes now. Thank you for sticking around and dealing with my goofballiness and the troubleshooting and stuff with Waveform. I am also new to it. I don't use it all that often, and I'm learning with you. So I'm going to make mistakes. I am definitely going to make mistakes, and bear with me. But together, we're going to work it out, and hopefully it will help you write and record your first song in Waveform, and that's the goal. So we're going to go through the blunders together, is what it is. So I will see you all next time.